Hi everybody, my name is Kathy Ann and I suffer from Neurogenic Thoracic Outlet Syndrome. It is a painful condition where your nerves are compressed somewhere along your neck or your brachial plexus. I got mine from a chiropractor injury. She gave me whiplash and it turned into Neurogenic Thoracic Outlet Syndrome. And if you watch my other videos, I talk about my symptoms and the pain and things I do to try to relieve it. But in this video, I'm going to tell you about how I went to Charlotte, North Carolina to see an adhesion specialist about my pain. So I haven't had much help from modern medicine, the modern medical community. Basically, they're like, yeah, you have neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome, let's perform surgery. Well, I am looking for the specific answer. Where is the compression? Can I not have surgery? So I flew to Charlotte, North Carolina to see an adhesion specialist, and they use a method called ARM, A-R-M, and that's adhesion release method. So adhesion release method is a treatment approach that breaks down the adhesion or the scar tissue that causes the pain and the restrictive movement. And they do this using their hands. It's manual therapy. And they use their skills and their knowledge to touch your body and feel if they can feel nerve entrapment, and feel with their hands if they can feel an adhesion. And then they use their technique to break the adhesion. So what's an adhesion? An adhesion, it's like scar tissue that forms. And it can form for many reasons. It can form because you had surgery. It can form because you have a repetitive injury, like you hit a tennis ball over and over, or you pitch, or from an injury. So that's how I got my adhesion, from an injury, whiplash. So in Charlotte, North Carolina, I had my evaluation, and this is what the doctor found. So I have an adhesion at C2, which is one of the top vertebrae in your neck. And C2, if you have nerve entrapment at C2, you would have things like neck pain, occipital headaches, numbness, tingling in the head, neck, or arms, my symptoms. And he also found severe dorsal scapula nerve entrapment. Okay, so I have a constant burning scapula. And then he also found moderate to severe medial nerve entrapment. So those are the three things he found: adhesion at C2, dorsal scapular nerve entrapment, and medial nerve entrapment. So after he found those, he did the first treatment, and it's not really weird, okay? So basically, you're laying down and he puts pressure on the adhesion while a second person takes your head and moves it all around. And so basically, they're putting pressure, tension, along with movement to break the adhesion. So the adhesion just doesn't break off. You're going to have to see this person for, they told me, like 18 to 23 treatments, because you have to space them. You can't do them every day. You have to wait at least 24 hours in between treatments, because you can make it worse. You don't want your body going, oh my gosh, somebody's picking at this, I'm gonna release more glue and make that adhesion bigger. So you have to do the treatment, rest. You're not supposed to pick at it. That's one of my problems, is I know I have an adhesion here, so I would sit here and I would be poking at it like this. Well, I'm wrong. You can't be doing that, because you're making it worse. So you have to leave it alone so it can heal. Okay? And some of the other things I was doing was some postural exercises I was given. So the postural exercises are good, okay? But they said that because of my adhesion, I'm irritating it. And one of the exercises I did was I was laying down with a roller under my head, and then I would do something like this. I mean, it looks really stupid, okay? But you do that with your mouth, and it helps, supposed to help with the curve in your neck while you do it while you're laying down. Okay? So they said to quit doing that because I'm irritating my neck. And once I get my adhesion under control, I can do those things, but to stop right now. So, by flying to Charlotte, North Carolina and seeing an adhesion provider, I got my answer. Adhesion at C2. That's where my nerve is being entrapped or encased in the dorsal scapula and the medial scapula. Those explain my symptoms, and somebody was able to, my adhesion provider, Mike, he easily found that, and he says that I'm fixable. Now, of course, I don't live in North Carolina. I live in Texas, so I would have to fly out there. And they said I could fly out there, you know, 1 week a month. And, you know, I have 3 kids and a husband, and it gets expensive too. So I'm trying to find somebody in Texas who does something very similar, and to see if I can get them to break the adhesion. The only other thing that's similar to ARM, which is adhesion release methods, is ART, which is active release technique. So I actually have an active release technique person, and I really like them. It's just, I need someone who does the treatment a little more like the adhesion release, or the adhesion release method. So I'm on the search, but you know what? I got my answer, and so I'm happy about that. And now I have a plan. So I'm very happy I went to Charlotte, North Carolina to see an adhesion provider.